I will talk a little bit about our experiences that we used HP ALM for quite a long time, and for us it was a sort of a holy grail because there was plenty of tests and plenty of effort and all other processes and plenty of people used it. And when I took over the department of testing in Tatrabanka, I thought this will be my solid point, and I will turn my universe around this solid point. And well, it took just 2 years, and the solid point, my holy grail, was gone. And we got to a big adventure of finding a new holy grail. So I will talk about some challenges we had, from what we needed to change in our philosophy through communication and onto the implementation, and the quest is still going on. A little bit about me. I'm working in Tatrabanka for 14 years. 14, not 40. I'm quite old, but only 14. 14 years, and I started as a tester, then test manager. Now I'm the head of department of testing, and try to be a leader, but also a husband, dad, friend, colleague, whatever, in books and in movies. But as well in testing, I'm trying to be a detective, either Sherlock Holmes or Phil Marlowe, because I think testing is really similar to detective work. And when I feel that, okay, this is something how I wish to look like, and to stop developers from making more mistakes, or to have bugs in our software, it's quite good. Sorry, to be person who is searching for holy grail, and there is plenty of people who will working with this as we go along. So the holy grail of Tatrabanka testing HP ALM. Why it was so sacred? Why it was so difficult to change from one tool to another? We had it for 18 years. Oliver was there 1 month before me, and there was already HP ALM. Most of my oldest colleagues remember how it started, but for me it was like, wow. I was learning from this testing tool when I got to Tatrabanka, and we used it for quite a long time with 4,000 users using the software, 400 active, but during those 18 years there were 4,000 people, and we had a couple of thousands of tests and twice the number of bugs in our record. So wow, it was plenty of work, plenty of know-how. We had all our processes in there, so it was very, very difficult to trying to change this. Okay, as I said, 2 decades of time and care. A lot of people that I worked with, their know-how, their time, and their effort into this. There were plenty of changes of applications. You could find in test different versions of old applications. When we went through Euro project, everything was in there. Other processes, they were well set, well documented. Everybody enjoyed being in this testing tool. Our users knew what to do, how to do it, where to find things. Everybody was happy. Reporting, we had our own reports. They were manual. They were not perfect. Nobody outside testing world really understood them, but everybody was expecting that we will be reporting bugs and tests. And there were plenty of other users, architects, delivery managers, release managers, and so on. Even business testers were quite successful in test preparation. Bugs, everybody recorded bugs in ALM, but just part of business testers were also preparing and executing tests. We were sitting in a castle, but at the time we didn't know that this castle is burning around us because the world is changing. First, it came with Jira. Our service desk guys wanted to try out Jira for service desk purposes, but also people from demand and people who were responsible for planning brought Jira to Tatrabanka. And then everybody was crazy about Jira. First demand, then delivery management, release management. People started to plan their work, to prepare their tasks and everything in Jira. And also I think 2 or 3 agile teams started to adopt Jira for their purposes. They were very persistent about Jira, about getting there. Their style of work was different from the central teams. They were really fast. They didn't need a lot of functionalities from ALM. We started also to have data issues, but it was in Jira, so they put their status in there, and we needed to manually retype our testing status from ALM to Jira. And people started to question, okay, how many defects are there? 20. Not 20? Do you think it's less? How do you know it's 20? Because it's in ALM. And they started to question our data and our statuses. And also, our version of ALM was getting old, even ancient. And it was same with the hardware. We had a funny story because we were relocating data centers, and they were taking down all servers to a different place. And guys from the project told me, okay, we have a bad message for you. Nobody wants to transport your ALM server to the new location because nobody will guarantee whether if you shut down the server, it will wake up on the new location. So you have a couple of months until this needs to be relocated. So no. And so our quest began because we felt that we need the change. Also, there was a possibility that our old server will never wake up, so we needed to start moving. So I will talk a little bit about our expectations from the new Grail, because we will start looking for a new testing tool. We did some market research and so on. So first, this was a great opportunity to update our processes, to clean up. In ALM, for example, for raising a bug, there were about 120 fields. They were not all mandatory, but there were more than 100 fields that you could fill when you were raising a defect. So we wanted a solution with less fields, less forms, more sense. Then we had central teams that worked in old school style, and then there was the sexy agile style. So we needed both of these worlds to be able to work with the tool. We didn't want to get back to be totally independent of everything. So we want our test object to be a part of the Jira structure that the rest of bank is using. So we needed to connect our test objects to the general structure. Also reporting. This was a great issue because people started to ask for reports daily, and they didn't want somebody to, okay, give me 20 minutes, I will prepare it for you. No, not 20 minutes, I need it now, because we have a status and we need to see the numbers. So we wanted to have reports available for everybody. We did our market research. We knew that the basic tool will be Jira. We knew that we will use Jira for defects, but the problem was test preparation and test execution and reporting. We were lucky because our colleagues in our Raiffeisen group, they have done similar shift from one tool to another. They have done a pretty good market research, and we took this research and we decided that, okay, we will only compare these two modules, X-ray and adapter, and we will choose from them. And the winner was X-ray. This is a table from Australian community. There are plenty of these. This is from that time. It compares different modules, and you can in different categories. And there were a couple of these that we used to decide, but we also asked our vendor to install both of these modules into our test environment, and we tested and played and broke and tested again until we decided, okay, X-ray works for us. So we had our expectations, we had our market research timetable. In early 2020, we started with the theory, with the update of our processes, and to play with both X-ray and adapter. But it was in winter 2020 when we finally decided, okay, we will start with bugs going live, and we let users to use this functionality, while tests were managed in ALM. So we had two applications working side by side, and nobody really liked it. But it was not possible to do it in a big bang way because tests were much more sensitive. Bugs, a lot of people were raising bugs in Tatrabanka, and still they are. So this was much easier for us. X-ray, mostly testers, either external or internal, but this took a longer time. But in summer 2021, all testing was done in Jira, in X-ray and in Jira. So it took quite a long time. I will also tell you why. Because this is my crew for the implementation. There were plenty of people working on this, and most of this was done as part of their job, and also I think part of it was a hobby, so they really liked it. One of my Petr is one of my test managers and team leaders, and he was the brain behind the whole philosophy. Katka Madova, she's our agile tester, excellent person. She has done most of the research, and she was the one who spent a lot of time playing in testing environment and looking for through forums and groups and finding out how does X-ray work, and it could work for us. Stanožek, he was our administrator in ALM, and he was responsible for migration and also some special technical stuff. Ugo Spraznovsky, I'm really grateful for his insight, because he questioned a lot of our decisions, and we went through a lot of brainstorming, and he helped us to give us a little push when we needed it, because we were trying to go for a perfect solution. Everybody would like it, but he told us, okay, users to decide. Our Jira vendor, EA, great guys, very supportive, very helpful. And very important element was the community of testers in Tatrabanka, because I will show you what they are capable of. That every nicely laid plans may be very much changed by users. So first, the change of philosophy. I divided this part into four subsections: bugs, tests, reporting, and migration. For bugs, we said, okay, we need something similar as we used to have in ALM, but not totally same. We went for less fields. As I said, from 120 to 30, because no agile tester would raise a defect if there are 120 fields that you may fill in or not. Also, some of the fields we wanted to be auto-filled. Defects or bugs would be raised not from one place, from one project container, because in Jira you are using project containers, but from different project containers. So everybody would be responsible for their own defects, and we connected the defect to delivery. Delivery is object we use in Tatrabanka, where everything means development, also the testing. So if you connect bugs to delivery, you will know, okay, in this delivery we found this bug, this was tested, this was repaired. For tests, we also did some modifications. We created a test depository, and we had a familiar test structure. We didn't want something new or fancy. We want users to feel a little bit at home. So there was some description, expected results, actual results, attachment, and so on. And also we connected this test object to delivery. So everything that is related to test is connected to delivery, and everybody is able to find out what is being implemented into life and what quality. Reporting. We needed to create some testing dashboards and some searchable structures. Also, we wanted some advanced analytics that could be done in Power BI. This is still a dream, but okay. In this moment, it was a wish for us. And as far as migration goes, we didn't want to migrate any bugs at first. Okay, we just let bugs to finish their life in ALM, and then they will be in an archive, and all new bugs will be done in Jira. We migrated tests. About 50,000 of tests were migrated. These were test cases that were executed at least once in the last 6 years. So everything else was total history for us. And there were a couple of special cases when, for example, business tests or testers needed to have their bugs migrated as well. I will talk about migration in more detail in a second. So we have our philosophy. We know what to do. Now we are going to spread the word of God to the users. Not my word, but we wanted to spread the information about the change to users, because we thought it's very important. We found out that we have three kinds of users. The adopters, great people. They are trying to teach themselves. They go through many articles, and they talk about new features. They really want the change to happen. They provide good feedback, but they want it really quickly. Everything needs to be done quickly. New features. Yesterday, new version of Jira came out. Do we have it? No, not good. So they really wanted a lot of features at once. Then we had ledgers. ALM, everybody has in ALM. Why are you taking ALM from us? Jira, nobody likes Jira because you can do one thing in 20 different ways. Why? We just want one way. One way, the old way is good. They require more individual approach. So you need to have a little bit more workshops or some individual help. They also provide a good feedback, but their stance is mostly negative. They don't want to change. And then there was everybody else. People are okay. Change is fine if you give us some documentation and provide us some examples. We like it, not too much, but okay. So we prepared our strategy for communication. Confluence started to be a thing in Tatrabanka at the time, so we prepared quite a good documentation in Confluence, and we provide a lot of examples and hints for all important parts of the process. We had plenty of workshops, not only for testers, but also for developers, for external vendors, for everybody who was moving in Jira. And we also used community sessions. We have a testing community. I think a lot of you also have something similar in your companies. So we use testing communities to spread the word, and we gave them opportunity to be part pilot or some testing of the new solution. So they could play and break things in a safe environment. Nobody was mad if something went wrong. Okay, so we have the philosophy, we have the communication, and we are going to implement it. In the movie, Indiana Jones went for the Grail, and there was a large abyss, and he couldn't jump from one part to another, so he needed to make the step, and he found out there is an invisible bridge. So we took our chance, and in December 2020, we went live with bugs, and it didn't go well because we thought that our users will have the same idea about what fields should be in what place and what fields shouldn't be there. So we needed to change the bug form a couple of times. Also, we found out that people understand how to raise a bug, but they have no idea how Jira works. So we needed to teach them how Jira works, searches, filters, everything. Because in ALM, they were used to do a certain thing in one way. Jira lets you do it in 20 ways, and those adapters, they were very, very funny because you can do it like this, like this, like this, like this, and nobody was really sure how to do it. And also, reassigning bugs among different teams, it took a couple of clicks, but in ALM, you just change the name of the person that was assigned to the bug, and it was done. In here, you needed to click a couple of times to do the same thing. So they were not happy. It didn't stop there. We started to pilot X-Ray. We had one agile team to help us with pilot, one big project, and one smaller change, and they were not happy because all the preparation went quite slow. they couldn't copy the text and steps so easily as in ALM, and also test plan in ALM was totally different thing than test plan in Jira, and reporting was very complicated at the first, and test migration, well, it could help. If you are going from ALM to Jira, Jira has a native migration tool for ALM from a certain version up. There are a couple of versions down, so we needed to create a special migration tool, and we saw that okay, all test depositories will be migrated in 1 day, and it took 2 weeks because it went so slow. But we listened to the feedback. That was a very important thing. That we created a support group for these people, so they can be heard. We can understand their problems and prepare some countermeasures. We talked a lot about Jira in testing community. We reworked some of our ideas. We changed the field, dropped some statuses, and so on. And for testing reports, we created automated dashboards. So you can just click and it will generate a report for you, also for delivery managers. So they were quite happy about this. And now we have 8,000 bugs and 2,000 of executed tests already in Jira. So it went, at the end, it went quite well. In the movies, they wrote the setting sun and everything is fine and the future is bright. For us, well, we are still working on a couple of things. First, we want to introduce our business testers to Jira. Some of them are using it, but most of them not. They're using a special Excel sheet for this. Excel is in some communities, Excel is still a good tool for testing. Yeah, it's a start, but for them it's very good. It's enough for them mostly. They are raising back in Jira, but they don't like it very much. We are playing with automated tests. Now we are using a little bit different solution, but we want to connect our automated tests to Jira. Still, there are plenty of regular updates where you need to test whether something doesn't go wrong, and we're still working on our advanced analytics. There's still so much more, and that's it. Conclusions. Do market research. You want to choose something, choose it after you. Oh, I'm missing T in there. Okay. Choose it after having all the data. This change is a very good time to clean up all the processes. If something made you mad or something was not good in your record management process or so on, clean it up, simplify. It's a good time. You need good people. Somebody who understands what you want to do and how it should be done, but also somebody who is good in playing with different ideas. Test and pilot, we should do this. We are all testers in here. Communication, never underestimate the power of communication, because less people know, more they are likely to hate the change because they were not heard, and it shouldn't stop in implementation. You need some sort of support, some continuous support for people who are using the application. Okay, this is from the Grail night at the end of the movie. Choose wisely, because the true Grail, the true testing tool that you are using will give you life, well, not life, but will help with your work. And the false Grail, so not so good tool if you choose wrong Grail, to take the life from you. So it will take the efficiency of your work, the enjoyment of your work from you. So you must choose wisely. And so on.
So, thank you, Peter. Do we have any questions? I have one question.
Okay.
It's quite maybe philosophical. You make a great efforts into implementation and things like that. Is that anything you would like to do differently?
When we took too much time in thinking, in brainstorming and thinking out how it should work, we went for a perfect product, and rather we should put the ideas into and implement them much sooner, and let people to get their hands on in the testing environment on the new solution. It took too long time. Then my boss stepped in and said, "Stop talking, start implementing," and we implemented. And I'm very thankful for that, because it was a nice push in the right time. So yes, at the end it was very sweet and it was very well prepared, but we took a too long time to get there. If you know how you want to things to be and to be run, let's do it. Just do it. Do it well, agile style maybe. So you just put something there and people will start using it and they will give you feedback. That's what I would do differently.
Okay, so there are no questions, Ivan?
Okay. Oh, reopen rate. Well, for now, we used to have in ALM, we used to have pretty good process for this. Now we are preparing something similar for ALM. For now, we are still working on this. Oh, I think that it will be quite interesting how to do this. In ALM, we took statuses and we looked for changes between statuses. We will do something similar here, hopefully. So for now, not, but we are working with our vendor on this, because I think we wouldn't be able to do this ourselves. So well, now test managers are usually responsible for these statistics, but we hope to have it automated so we can have it.
Any other questions? So thank you, Peter, for